All right, we are live again, guys. This is Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn, featuring the Phoenix Princess, Aminah Belmont, via phone call right now. How's it going, Aminah?
It's going good.
Going good? Yeah. And yeah, let's just start off, talk about how you got into watching wrestling.
Wrestling was like my parents' Super Bowl. It was like a family Super Bowl actually. We would always rent one of the DVDs of like SmackDown or pay-per-view, and we'd play it, and it'd be like a family gathering thing. So that's how I started watching it. It's one of my first memories actually, which is watching. I remember what match he was in. I don't remember what year it was, but it was Rey Mysterio. I just remember seeing him wrestling. I don't remember who he was wrestling. I don't remember where he was wrestling. But I just remember seeing him wrestling, and that was my first ever memory, like ever. And it's insane.
Oh, yeah. Rey Mysterio, always a good favor for people to choose, and I mean, I can't disagree. It's Rey Mysterio, so yeah. Who were you trained by, and when did you get trained?
I got trained in May of last year by Merrick Dave, Matt Mayday, and Seth Rollins at the Black and Brave Academy.
Oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I did see we had maybe it was a couple, but I know for sure we had Valentina Loca on here who was trained by the Black and Brave Academy and telling us about Seth Rollins, and it was during the time that Cody Rhodes was we were predicting if Cody Rhodes is coming back, and she's like maybe, but Seth Rollins is still gonna win or something, and I think that's what she said. So yeah, Seth Rollins and Black and Brave. What was their training style, and how's the whole process there?
I think the training style is it's very conventional. It's kind of normal in the sense of learning how to do the moves properly. But it is really hard because they also want to make sure that you want to be there, and that you to make sure that you actually want to be there. And so you go through I would say it's very vigorous, but it is like it's possible to pass. Like you could get through it if you really wanted to, but it's not easy at all. It was the hardest 3 months of my life, but it was worth it, and it was so much fun to meet the people I've met and to train the way I did. It was fun. It was extremely fun, but it's extremely hard, and you really have to put in the work if you want to get through it. And I think that's what makes it so fun, because when you do get through it and you graduate the class, you look back on all the hard work you put in, and it makes you feel better about yourself, and it makes you kind of believe you can really do anything. It's hard, but it's a lot of fun when you graduate and you realize that, like, I did that. It's pretty fucking cool. So,
Mhm. Yeah. So you started training last year, and you're already graduated, so you must be pretty good then.
it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Did
Okay.
You're okay.
I'm still learning.
Yeah. So I know for some people it takes, I know one person it took like 6 months. Sometimes it takes like 3 or 4 years, but you know, yeah.
It's only a 3 month class, so everyone kind of graduates.
Oh,
But some people it does take a bit longer. Like you can graduate in 3 months, but you still go to the gym and train vigorously. And some people don't make their debut and like they have their first match until maybe a year after they graduated. So it depends on the person, definitely.
oh, okay. Oh, I so you graduate, but it still takes a while to get booked and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because I know kind of, I guess, kind of got close ties with Ken Anderson of the Academy down in Minnesota, and we've had a bunch of his students on here telling us about how he runs things and his stories, or their stories about training. So it's always interesting to see how training processes go at different schools. So yeah. Sam Snell, Sean Livingston referee, says he loves how he runs stuff. I think, yeah, he's referring to Ken Anderson, and yeah, definitely a great trainer. And I mean, it's good to hear that Seth Rollins and Merrick Brave are, and oh shoot, who's the other trainer?
Mayday.
Matt Mayday. That's right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Can't do that.
I know. Matt Mayday. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was only two trainers. I thought it was just Merrick and Seth, but Matt Mayday. Okay. I'll remember that.
He likes to hide in shadows. Doesn't like to. He doesn't see. Matt is amazing. I freaking love Crouch to Death. He hates being like it. He hates when people give him recognition, and it's so weird. But that's probably why, because he's just like, no, I'm not here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know some people are like that, and they like to do good stuff, but not on camera. And same with like asking people to do podcasts. You're just like, you got to see me at the show. So yeah, yeah. Oh, talk about your like early career, those first few months of being booked and being on shows.
I had a lot of fun in my first few months of being on shows. I was so excited, and it was so nerve-wracking. But when it happened, and when my music hit, and when I went out there and I wrestled, it was just, it felt like I don't even know how to explain it, but it was so much fun. And no matter where I went, even still now, only being maybe 6 months in, I still kind of believe that I'm still at this couple of months, even though I've probably been 6 months in already. And I don't know, the fun hasn't gone away. So I'm hoping that it never does, but I've been told that it will. I don't know, it was very, very freeing, weirdly. So that makes any sense. It was just very freeing to be able to do it, but it was also nerve-wracking and terrifying.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, like, you're just out there, you got a bunch of people cheering or booing or sometimes not even saying anything, and it's like, oh, people are, I'm the main attraction for this match at least, and just going out there and seeing what you can do. So yeah.
I think my favorite part about going to shows is watching them, because when I was younger, I never really went to a live show. I think I went to about 1 or 2 live shows. I was at Survivor Series 2012, and I went to a live show in the Philippines, but I never went to an indie wrestling show. And my favorite part about going to shows and getting on shows is being able to watch the matches before and after me, because it's just, you learn so much from watching people. And I just feel like a kid again watching wrestling live and seeing my friends go out there and wrestle, and just being a part of it all. Just, I would definitely say that's my favorite part about everything.
Yeah. I mean, definitely watching independent wrestling. I never knew that there was, well, I knew like ROH, of course, but I didn't know there was like local stuff. Like you could just drive like 30 minutes and there's guys at a wrestling at this the Legion. I guess that's always a popular place for promotions to go. So yeah. And when and where was your first independent show that you watched?
My first the answer to both these questions is SCW. During training, SCW is the local promotion for the school, and it helps showcase the graduates and their talents, and helps them with the reps and getting better and trying new things and experimenting with new things. And so that was my first show I ever watched. During training, we learned how to put up the ring and tear it down, and we would do that at SCW shows, and so that's the first show I've ever watched, first live indie show I've ever watched, and it's also the first live indie show I've ever been a part of. And Mary Brave put myself and Maggie Minerva. Sorry. I used to Maggie McKinney, but I forget to change the last name. Maggie Minerva put us in our first match together at an NCW fair show, and that was so much fun. It was amazing.
Yeah. I was kind of doing some research, and it looked like you guys were kind of had some kind of feud going. Is that still going, or how was that?
Yeah, definitely. She beat me a couple of times, but of course, I obviously got back, and the coaches like to say that we're just feuding around the world.
Yeah.
We're just going against each other and just, but it's fun.
Yeah. So I mean, after a while, you have like 2 or 3 matches. I know, like for this one group, they have like 1 or 2 or 3 matches, and then next thing you know, there's 7 matches in different promotions in different states, and it's just like he keeps going and going. It's always interesting to see where it'll go, and sometimes they just like randomly have a match unscheduled, and you're just like, oh, that's again happening again. So yeah.
I like seeing it around you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a rivalry for sure.
It's gonna keep going until we all fall off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that they said they were gonna have their last match like 5 years ago, and they're still going. So yeah, I don't think it'll ever end. So, which they keep having great stuff, and outside like wrestling, they have like great character work with the Bloodline and just being themselves. And Sammy, he's definitely getting really over now. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Sammy actually came to school once, and we met him doing training, which was so fun. It was amazing. He was such an amazing guy. He was so smart. Oh my god. Oh, it was. Still get goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh wow. What is the was it like a training seminar, or just coming to stop by and see what's going on, or?
They were doing a live WWE event in town, and he just dropped by to do a bit of a workout, and then he had time left over, and so he asked us if we had any questions. Of course, we all had questions, and he kind of just sat there and talked to us for about an hour, maybe or 2, and he got to the point where he was like, "Oh, I gotta go," because he just kept going on, and it was really fun. Yeah, he's amazing. He's so freaking smart.
Nice. Yeah. I forgot. I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Minnesota, and I know I always see posts about WWE going to Iowa. I'm like, well, can it be Minnesota sometimes? But it's cool that they go to Iowa a lot too. But yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw I mentioned Maggie, because I saw like a post. Was a SCW Pro back in January 16th. There was this promo between Maggie and Chuck Brewster. I thought that was pretty interesting to see. So apparently, she had some words for you about your hired gun or something.
Listen, everyone has a price, and some people are cheaper than others. Some people are more expensive. I was using there's a word that I'm looking for. I was using not my surroundings. It'll come to me. But I was just being smart with my money. I was having a very good investment. That's what I'll say. Say it was a very good investment.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And sometimes you gotta invest. So yeah. And yeah, I think that's actually a perfect segue. Mr. Pete King of All Out Pro Wrestling, he's got his little investment for his world champion for a show that you're going to be a part of. Let me pick it up again. Yeah, All Out Pro Wrestling Blizzard Bash. You're making your debut in the triple threat match against Lena Solana, Leslie Michelle, and for the APW Women's Championship. How have you been preparing for that?
Oh, CrossFit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun to debut there and become their women's champion. It's going to be amazing for me. Not so much for Leslie and Lena, but it's going to be great for me. So, but I did my first CrossFit one in a while yesterday. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh no.
Oh, it was terrible. It was, what did I do? I did 60 double unders, 20 kettlebell swings. I used 18 pounds and 15 burpees, 6 rounds for time. I got about 45 minutes. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, I saw your story with the list of workouts. I'm like, oh, I'm getting your workout in for sure. So, yeah. Yeah.
Trying to get better at using my social media, you know, keeping people up to date.
Yeah. I know sometimes, like, I mean, for being a wrestler, you got to train and then also do media, which, I mean, that land workout, of course, that's probably a lot to do, but yeah, as long as you're keeping some kind of update, and especially the shows that you'll be at, and I mean, it's easy, pretty much just post the post of the show you're going to be at on your story, and then it's pretty much probably the best way to promote. But yeah. How much do you know about Leslie and Lena? Because I know you're from Iowa and they're mainly Minnesota/Wisconsin.
So I've never wrestled Lena, and
Okay.
I have watched a couple of her matches.
Okay.
She wrestled Valentina Loca. I saw that match. You know, she's been keeping me up to. She's been showing me a couple of her matches with her, and I am kind of familiar with Leslie. Leslie and I have had a match where we were actually partners in Galley, and then we were in the Rumble at CSW. So we know of each other, but our paths have never crossed for us to fight each other. This would be the first time that I have a match with either of them against one another.
Oh wow. So definitely a big challenge ahead for sure then. So oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, I guess almost kind of unfair in a sense, because I know a former champion vacated her belt, and then the show was going to be December 18th, and it was just going to be one-on-one, and some reason Pete decided to add Leslie in there, which, I mean, we all love Leslie, but now it's a triple threat. So I mean, hopefully you've had enough time to readjust to that and do as much CrossFit as you can.
I had a triple threat before, and I think it's a bit easier in the sense of, you know, Leslie and Lena, they're going to be all like, I'm the champion, no, I'm the champion. I could just, you know, fight certain battles and strive when necessary.
Yeah, there you go. How did Pete originally reach out to you about coming to APW?
I think it was when it was when it was on the 18th. He reached out to me a week prior to that and asked if I would be interested in wrestling Lena for the women's championship, and of course I'd be interested. That's championship right there. I was like, of course. So and sadly it was rescheduled, but I don't think that was necessarily a bad thing. I think it was just longer time for me to get there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Do a bit more research, kind of
Yeah, yeah. And I was really bummed about that because I was actually originally going to be able to go to that show, but now I won't. I'm like, oh man, but yeah, but I mean, snowstorms in Midwest is never a good combination. So, I mean, yeah, they're fun to look at. Yeah, the road, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't drive with him, but I love him.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Since with the show being rescheduled for this Saturday, we kind of had like an APW month that started in November, and then since it got canceled, but this is kind of an extended APW month just to promote the show. We've had like, I mean, almost half the roster on that show on here, just talking about APW, trying to help little Pete King out about his little show happening. But yeah, so fans, All Pro Wrestling this Saturday, January 28th, in the new location, Parkview Elementary School for Blizzard Bash 2. So, and Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. So go check that out. And his favorite catchphrase is if you got plans, you better change them. So yeah. So yeah.
Lucky for me though, I'm gonna be winning 2 championships this week. Gonna be
Oh.
winning that All Out championship, and then on Sunday we're gonna be winning the Powerhouse Women's Championship. That's also been vacated, so we're gonna be a double champ. So it's gonna happen.
Oh, Powerhouse. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about their stuff. I think Leslie's done some work that I kind of saw.
She was the first ever champion there, so
Oh.
Leslie and I just lost each other. I think she's the first ever women's champion there, and then Celine Gray was the champion after Leslie. Celine Gray beat Leslie for the championship, and then sadly Celine had to forfeit the title because she had shoulder injuries. So there's going to be an open challenge women's rumble that myself, Maggie Minerva, again, Maggie, just Heather Reckless, Blair Onyx, and Gigi Rose are going to be a part of. It's going to be a cute little 5-leg that I'm going to win, obviously. So
there you go. You wanna share the details on where and when that is? Yeah. Yeah, you got to show off your title that you're gonna win in front of everybody. Oh yeah.
I mean, I have it's in my phone. So
oh yeah, yeah. You're good. Yeah, so many shows to keep track of in the Midwest. And I'm mainly Minnesota, but I've been trying to keep up with everything else just because of trying to get guests outside state and finding out what they do, and social media is the best way to find out. So yeah. It's a good and bad thing about professional wrestling, but yeah.
It's going to be in North Drive, 16th North Point Drive, Cedar, Illinois.
Okay.
See if I can actually put it on the Zoom. See if my technology still work.
Yeah.
No, you can like share your screen or something.
Oh yeah, I think you should be able to.
Or can I only do that on my computer? I know a little bit about Zoom. I have to do this for school all the time.
Oh yeah. I'm
sadly a part of the COVID era of high school.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're still in high school then? Or you've been?
It's Cedars, Illinois. I can't put the poster up because it's not letting me show my screen. But it's in Cedars, Illinois, 16th North Point Drive, Cedars, Illinois.
Okay.
See me in the Progress Women's Championship.
Okay. Yeah, there you are. women's championship open challenge battle royal. So yeah, was it North Point Drive, Cedar? How do you Cedars? Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, Cedars. Illinois, and $15 in advance tickets, $20 at the door. It's the Quest for Gold show. So looks like a lot of gold on the show, and yeah, I'm sure.
On that show.
Mhm. Oh, nice. It's like Night of Champions. Mm. Oh yeah, there you go. Or what is AEW calls it, the Battle of the Belts, when they do it randomly. Yeah, it's always random when they promote it. I'm like, oh, it's coming up again. There you go. So yeah.
I think they'll find their footing, like with everything.
Mm-hmm.
AEW, yeah.
Yeah.
They're still a fairly new company, so they're coming in pretty well for a fairly new company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you been keeping up with it, or sometimes see it, or?
I've been keeping up with everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do when you go to the gym. You just watch wrestling, you work out, and you play in the ring. That's what you do when you go to the gym.
There you go. Yeah. I try to keep up with it, but it's mainly through social media and what I see on there. But sometimes I'll watch Raw live or Dynamite or SmackDown or whatever. But yeah, I know. It was last Monday, 30 years of Raw. So that was cool to see all the new guys and the old guys again. So yeah.
Favorite part of that Raw was when Triple H came out. Who's sorry? It was Seth Rollins. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who was in the ring? Oh, it was Seth, the Street Profits. It was three other guys. They ended up doing a 6-man after that.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite part was when Triple H was in the ring and he was like, well, they were all, going at each other's throats, and they looked at Triple H like if only someone was here to book these matches. And he's like, why is people looking at me? This booking stuff ain't easy. And then Teddy Long comes out and books a 6-man. That was amazing. It brought me back. But Teddy Long would always. I loved when Teddy would tell people they were facing The Undertaker, because they would look at him like he just signed their death certificate. They were like, wait. Let's talk about this. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. And there's like, what? So, yeah. I was waiting for that. I'm like, are they going to face The Undertaker tonight? But, yeah.
I absolutely love The Undertaker. It's a shame that I won't be able to be in the arena when he does his entrance. That's the only thing I've ever wanted from him. I just want to be in the arena when those lights go off and it's like,
yeah.
I just want to be in the ring. I just want to be in the arena. That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I never got to see that either. I'm like, oh man, it would have been cool to see Taker in the ring just doing his thing, and it would have been super awesome to see Taker coming out to Kid Rock and American Badass. I'm like, oh my god, it's super cool. So, yeah.
Favorite was the Ministry of Darkness. Favorite. Chef Kiss, loved it. That's actually when Undertaker became my favorite wrestler. I was watching the Ministry of Darkness. I was probably 6, maybe 8. And I was just watching him come out, crucifying people. And I was like, he's amazing. I love him. So like, no. Friendly. And I was like, it's the Undertaker, so it's fine. It's okay.
So it's fine. Yeah, he just comes out crucifying Stephanie McMahon. I'm like, what is this? Whoa. Oh man. Yeah, that was an awesome era of Undertaker, and I didn't grow up during that period, but I mean, of course, I always go back. I'm like, I know the Ministry of Darkness and Attitude Era for sure. So,
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't grow up in that period either. I
Oh,
was
okay.
born in 2002, so that was very
Oh,
much before my time. But I really loved watching old wrestling because it was my mum's favorite era. So she would play it, and so I would just go and watch it all the time.
oh yeah.
I'd go on YouTube and just watch the same video 600 times. It
Nice.
was
There we go. Yeah. Or actually, I got to ask you, what month in 2002 were you born?
November.
Oh man, I was actually born September of 2002, so I was like 2002. So I've only met 2 wrestlers ever that have said 2002. So yeah. Oh.
It's so funny because SCW and I are the same age.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
So I love it when they talk about how old SCW is, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was even born.
I was even more. Mm-hmm. What was that? I wasn't there. So
Especially when they have their 19th anniversary of SCW, and Merrick was like, he's like, all of you are under the age of 20. I mean, over the age of like 21, right? I don't know. He's like, screw you, DJ. He goes, how old are you? 19. It was the funniest thing. That's like, it was the funniest moment of training. It was amazing.
mm-hmm.
He was like, God, bro. And I was like,
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And yeah, I know Leslie just turned 18, so she's I was like, oh shit. So it's really just weird how you figure out ages of wrestlers. And I'm like, oh, you're still new. So yeah.
Leslie, she thought I was like 26, and I thought she was like 22. I thought, and we talked to each other, and she goes, no, I'm still in high school. And I was like, I just graduated.
Oh,
that's tough.
Oh wow. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, no, I think she like senior year of high school now or something. So yeah. Get those good grades, Leslie. So yeah. I just I'm in second semester of a second year of college. So I'm like, oh, I miss high school now. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's super hard.
Like high school, so I definitely don't want to go to college.
Yeah. Sometimes I regret it, but I'm like, I'm doing all right so far. So yeah. I think we got an SCW guy, Austin Baldridge, just promoted the address on Facebook here, North Point's Illinois.
That's Powerhouse.
Oh, the Powerhouse. Yeah, that's right. Powerhouse show. Yeah. Thanks for joining on here, Austin. So yeah. If anybody else has got comments or questions, we'll get those answered. We got Aminah Belmont. She wants to answer all your questions and comments. So yeah. And from the people that I've had on here, they're just like, oh, you guys do it live. I've never done that. I'm like, yeah, I guess it's kind of not the most conventional. It's more like a live video, but since we do got a page, it's kind of professional in a way. But yeah.
I think it's cool. JT Energy does a lot of Instagram lives, and I think that I used to, well, not used to think, but when I first saw that, I was like, that would be a really cool way to do a podcast because the people, they can ask questions and you can ask questions, and there's no dull moment, kind of. So you're not like having all these questions to ask to try to fill in the space. There's also time for people to also ask questions. It's more interactive with the crowd or with the fans.
Yeah.
Wrestling terminology.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we were just like, I don't have any storage on my phone. How am I going to record a whole show and then upload it? So I'm like, oh wait, maybe we can do it like an Instagram live. And then I'm like, Instagram live is all right, but I'm like, then my friend told me about StreamYard. We started doing that, and it worked until we had like Wi-Fi issues, and it just scratching up the audio. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. And then we found out Zoom, and you can upload to Facebook. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So yeah. And yeah, as of today, 476 followers on the Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn Facebook page. So yeah. So yeah, thank you.
I've always been really weird at social media, even when I was younger. Because I think with this generation, there's a lot of, I don't want to post stuff like that on social media because like college applications, colleges look at that stuff and they're like, oh, like that can make or break whether or not you get into college. So they're like, I don't want to post certain things on social media. And my mum drilled that into me head when I was younger. Like, you have to be careful about what you post on there. People can like stop you from there, and like that freaks me out so much that I wouldn't put my location on. I would barely post. Yeah. So now being a wrestler, where it's like, well, you have to, and it's like, oh, what if someone kill me?
Yeah, that is, can be scary in a sense. And I know one time I like posted a street sign, and my mom's like, you should maybe blur that out a little bit. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. So yeah, I don't know. Like, well, at first, like before I've got a phone, I'm like, I think social media is stupid. I'm not going to use it. And then like I got a phone, I'm like, let's just get all the social media apps just to see what friends are doing. And then got it and got all these weird bots right away. I'm like, oh, this is weird. I don't know what these are. I shouldn't touch it. But and then I think I started posting wrestling stuff on my random profile, and then started dividing up profiles and post kind of randomness, but also like I don't post where I'm at live most of the time. I just post afterwards. I'm like, that's probably the safer way. So
that's what my mom used to tell me to do.
Yeah.
Because she was an avid watcher of Criminal Minds. And so she scared the crap out of me with all the shit she knew. She was like, you know, you like, oh my goodness, this woman. I love my mom to absolute death. She scared the fuck out of me sometimes, the Criminal Minds. I would watch it with her sometimes because she watched it all the time. And she wouldn't know. I think she's probably watched Criminal Minds 100 times. She knows every episode and what's going to happen. So it got to a point where she'd be like, I don't think you want to be in here for this episode. I don't think you want to do it. And she'd call me in when there were like good episodes to watch. Like, okay, this one's fine. She knew how freaked out I'd get. There was one episode I couldn't sleep at night. It was the one where what happened? This man, he was just going to people's houses and killing their children. Oh. And they were on trial, and his lawyer was like, he's not doing it. He's innocent. I believe in him. And he got him free. And then the guy whispered in his lawyer's ear, thanks, I'm going to go up there and kill more kids. And he would sneak into their balconies. And he would kill and so the lawyer ended up killing him. And I was like, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't see by my window. I was scared.
Yeah, I know. I've watched a few episodes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but yeah. But I know, I sometimes watch some cop shows here and there, but right now I'm trying to watch because I've never watched the entire thing, which I mean, I should have at this point, but the Walking Dead series, I'm trying to finish that up. I'm like, oh, that guy just ate his face off. That guy gutted him. That's fun stuff. But and then there's kids in there. I'm like, oh no, not the kids, but yeah.
So I watched it. I don't know why I stopped watching it. And I rewatched it at my brother's house, and I was like, oh, I remembered why I loved it so much. So I'm watching that.
Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah. I saw a post with you and a snake. Are you pretty fond of snakes, or was that just a dare? Or...
I was at Guns Wrestling, and they had a snake, Ruby. And then Titty Lou was there, and she held the snake. And she's like, you should hold the snake. Like, it's not that bad. Just hold the snake. And I'm like, no.
No.
Just hold the snake. It's so docile, but it was scaring the crap out of me. I was just holding it, and I was like, okay, is it gonna fight? And as I'm holding the snake, I'm asking the guy that came with the snake. I'm asking him all these questions, and then Ruby wraps her tail around my wrist, and I just look at him, and I'm like, she's trying to kill me. She's trying to kill me. She's trying to kill me. He goes, no, she's just trying to hold your hand. I said, no, take it away.
Trying to hold my
That's it.
gosh.
That's all the snake time. Get off.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can't do snakes. I'm like, it's just too weird to look at it, and slimy and scales and all that. I'm like, oh, there you go.
I remember the next day when I went to the gym, Becky was like, you held a snake. She goes, goes, like, everyone was like, I was like, it's okay. Judy Lou did it, so I did it too.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. Hold a snake, guys. You'll find out something about yourself. So. Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, she's like a wildlife guy. No. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, COVID, kind of talked about that. How did you deal with the COVID during 2020? Just like how did the daily life change, and how did you find out like, oh, we're in a pandemic now?
I was overseas when COVID happened.
Oh.
I was in the Philippines, and I was also in high school. I was in 10th grade. No, I wasn't. I was in 11th, guys. I was in 11th grade, and what happened? We got a email from school saying that because of COVID, we're going to be out of school. Like, school wasn't going to happen the next day. And I remember being so fucking happy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to school. Woo! Like, it didn't hit me that it was a pandemic until they were like, we're going to be doing school via Zoom now because we were missing so many days. And I was just like,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like my experience with COVID is a lot different than others. I loved it. I loved being inside. I loved not being around people. I loved that I could just go to the court, because I lived in an apartment building, and you just wear a mask and a face. You wear a mask and a face covering, and you get to go outside. And I would go outside during my lunch period and go get Singapore noodles from this little shop, this little store.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Singapore noodles or was it? I think it was. Oh, it's so good. Let me see. Used to get it from this little shop right outside the apartment building, and I'd eat that for lunch, and I'd go up and go back on Zoom and do class. So I loved it.
Oh, there we go.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I also think that because I was overseas in the Philippines, that's why I loved it so much.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did. Oh yeah.
I was in the States, and that was going on, I would have hated it.
Yeah.
I would hate every minute of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd probably be a little different. So yeah, I was like, I was like in an art class, and then they announced it was the day before they announced it, and I was like, oh wait, is this COVID stuff gonna come to Minnesota? It's like all around the other states, and then it did. I'm like, oh, we're in a, what would we call this? And then I heard pandemic. I'm like, oh, that's new. I've never been a part of those. So so yeah, I was like, I've heard of the plague and like everything else, but I'm like, oh, I'm a part of this now. It's weird.
You learn about that history. You never think you'll be a part of something like that, and then it's like, yeah, COVID.
Yeah. Or like the Great Depression. I'm like, oh, that's never gonna happen, but I guess it kind of did. But yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't adjust to it right away, but eventually did figure it out. I'm like, okay, we'll do this. But yeah.
I adjusted to it, and I realized I was like, gosh, like it was so disgustingly dirty. Because I remember they were like, we're wiping down the planes to make sure no one gets COVID. My mom and I are like, you didn't do that before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're wiping everything down, we're disinfecting everything, and we're like, you didn't do this before. This is why COVID started. You didn't do any of. We were in shock. We were disgusting.
Yeah.
Now I can't get on a plane without I can't get on the plane without wiping my seat out because I don't know whether or not they did it. And I'm like, all those germs, that's disgusting. I think COVID made me a little OCD, just a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, they're just like, oh, we should wipe stuff down now after having a airline for a while. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why we're in a pandemic.
Yeah. And I like my stepdad was like really paranoid at the beginning. I was like, oh, I get home and like spray my backpack and all my stuff. I'm like, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Just like that movie Shorts. The dad was there. Okay, so there was I watched a lot of weird movies when I was a kid, mostly because I didn't have like TV, like not TV, but like I didn't have like internet or like Dish or like stuff like Disney and Nickelodeon and stuff.
Oh yeah.
This DVD movie called Shorts, and it was about like this little stone. There's a magic stone at the end of the rainbow that you can make wishes with, and there was this one kid that he always picked his boogers, and his dad was super freaking OCD that when you walk into the house, you have to get disinfected right then and there. There was a machine that you walk into and it would disinfect you, then it would dry you off and it would disinfect everything. And then it would like a glass door open and you can enter the house.
Oh yeah.
That's what just reminded me of. It was a nice thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple movies like that. I'm like, oh man, it's like the future. You got to disinfect, but yeah. No, there's a couple movies where I saw that, and I forgot the title, but it was like there was one movie between this guy and this girl, but this girl couldn't go outside, and she had to like stay inside because she had this. What was that?
Was it Midnight Sun or Everything?
Oh, I think maybe it was everything.
Was she not allowed to go outside because she was sick, or because she was allergic to the sun?
I think allergic to the sun or heat and radiation.
With the Bellathorn, I know that.
Everything. Yeah.
That version of Bellathorn so much. I watched the movie.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of randomly just watched it. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but.
Everything was interesting too. Like it's the same premise. She couldn't go outside because she had like this really rare disease. But then at the end of, I don't want to spoil it for you, but like
no, I've seen it.
Really interesting to see like her mum made it up.
She made it all up.
She's just so freaking paranoid, and this girl's been inside her entire life, and then she goes outside and she gets a cold, and they're like, see, this is why you can't go outside. It's like, no, you've never been outside before, so your body's not used to these kind of bacteria. I was like, I was clutching my pearls.
Yeah.
At the end of that movie, I was like,
man. I was like, what is the point of this movie then?
Yeah. I watched it in New York with my mom.
Oh, nice.
First time we went to New York, and we were like, let's watch the movie. So,
yeah, I never expected to talk about everything on here, but I guess we did. So I was like, oh, it just reminded me. So
pretty good.
Yeah. You made some history back on November 26th last year when yourself and Maggie first ever women's Trailblazer Championship wrestling match. Talk about the lead up to that and how the match went.
The lead up to it, they contact Maggie and
What?
Something in my room like something dropped in my room and it just made a thud and it scared me for a second. They contacted Maggie and then they contacted me. And so we're really excited about that match. Match went well. Match did go well. It was fun. I think my favorite part of each match is definitely the end where we're just like, we're both so tired, but each of us want to win and we're just giving each other all we have. And it felt like that was the match we did, and it was a lot of fun. The match went well, and they were very happy with our performance, and that's always the best thing, that you make sure the booker and the fans are happy to see you and want to see you back later on live, or the next time they have the show. So that was my goal, to make sure the fans had a good time and that the booker enjoyed the match enough to want to have us back, and they were checked off. So
yeah.
And we got newspaper. We were in the newspaper. I was in the newspaper. We were in the newspaper. I don't know if it was Maggie's first time in a newspaper because she was a volleyball athlete. So I don't know, but it was my first time in a newspaper, and it was very fun.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a copy of it, but I don't quite know where that copy is. It's in my closet somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's always cool, like see wrestling stuff in a newspaper is like, you have to go to like some small town to really see like wrestling in a newspaper, but it's always cool to see that. So
it was really, it was shocking to see. I would have not expected it to be in the newspaper. And I sent my mom a copy. She was very happy to have that. So
nice. Yeah. What's a good wrestling story that you have? Like in watching wrestling, or just on the road, or what you're doing now, or anything?
Watching wrestling, it's a cool memory for me. It was my family and I. We were all gathered up. This is back to like how I started watching wrestling. It's like my first cool memory. And it was me, my family, we were all sitting on the couch, some of us on the floor, some of us on the couch in a little square TV with antenna, and watching Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. And that was... Oh, I have one. Okay, so I was at Survivor Series 2012, and when I met John Cena.
Oh, nice.
I was a toddler. Not a toddler. I was a toddler. I was like 6, maybe 12. 2012. I was 10.
Oh.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was 10. Yeah.
Okay.
And I met John Cena. He hugged me. I went with my mum and my aunt and her son, and we had Batista shirts on. And he hugged me, and he like did that to me, and I was like,
yeah. There you go. Yeah, nothing better than seeing or getting to actually meet John Cena in person. You're like, oh, it's John Cena. So yeah.
Take it with me on that pay-per-view, or another boxer to check off my bucket list.
Yeah. I remember last year, the summer of Cena, when he came back just to do a couple things with Roman Reigns. I got to see him. Oh shoot! I got to see him in Minnesota at the Target Center. I'm like, it's John Cena. So.
I thought it was such a great full circle.
When
the Bloodline was still going on last year, right?
Yeah, that 3 years now, actually. Yeah.
When Cena and Roman first did their thing, and Cena was like, I'm still here because you can't do your job. Now looking back for a circle, Roman's like completely did a 360 and has become one of the largest and most talked about wrestlers of all time. And Cena came back and did a program with him, and it's like, well, like, I don't know. I thought that was really good. It's like, yeah, it was kind of weird because Cena was kind of Roman, and Roman was kind of Cena in that instinct of kind of the like Roman had championship for so long, and he was building WWE on his back, and they're leaning on Roman for so much, like they were leaning on John, and I like it. The parallel to me, that was really cool to see.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I thought that was really cool, and saw the contract signing that they did, and then there was a dark match afterwards, like a 3-on-3 or a 6-man match, and I was like, John Cena's in a match. Got to see that, and it's really cool for sure. So yeah, and then yeah, and then there was one point I got to see Edge for like 2 minutes before Seth Rollins came out during his entrance and started attacking him. I'm like I wanted to see Edge though, but
return to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I was watching it because I am an absolute nerd, and I have every Royal Rumble ever written in a book, who is in it, everyone in it, who they were eliminated by, the last 3 people, the last 2 people, no, the last 4 people, and the winner. I have that. I have it. I have till this day, and I still do it. I'll never do it at the gym, but I do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go.
It was a good way to pass time. Not just literally every Rumble, every single one is in my little book, and I write it. When they had the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, I nearly crapped myself. I was like, oh my god. Because I've always wanted to be a part of the Royal Rumble. I think that was one of my biggest things that I loved so much, but I was like, it will never happen because women aren't allowed the Royal Rumble because it's the men's Royal Rumble. And then the women finally had their own, and it was like, oh.
Yeah. It's definitely really cool how women's wrestlers women wrestlers in WWE are getting all these matches that they've never thought they'd like have, or not getting all these matches that they've thought they probably never got to see, like being in Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series and the Rumble and Money in the Bank. I'm like, this is definitely really cool, and they had their own pay-per-view, so yeah, definitely really cool. What are some of your finishing / signature moves that you have?
So, I do the code breaker. I love that move. I'm going to start doing the 619. I've mastered that, and I really like it. I do the guillotine quite a bit, and just because of my size, and I really like the idea of choking the life out of someone.
Yeah, there you go.
And I've learned how to do a moonsault, so maybe I'll do one of those in a match coming up soon, and like a standing one. I've done a moonsault from the second row, and they just look so angelic. And I'm not being biased. They just really look so angelic. It's just like, wait.
Yeah, seeing a great moonsault is always really cool to see, and like a Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes moonsault is always cool to see. I'm like, you're soaring.
You were gonna say Lita, because Lita is the reason
I
wanted
Lita.
to do moonsault to begin with. Her moonsault's just so pretty.
Yeah, definitely Lita's a great one for sure, and
nothing away from Cody.
Yeah.
Nothing away from Cody Rhodes. Nothing. But Lita's moonsaults are always my favorite. Hers just looks so angelic and so pretty. And
yeah, of course you can't forget Lita for sure, and the fact that she had as a finishing move before it just became like a standard move is really cool for sure. So yeah. At least 2 more questions left. What is the best advice that Seth Rollins gave you?
Be okay with nothing. Be okay with the nothingness. No, Seth gave me that was Crotch, sorry.
Oh.
Best advice Seth's ever given me is to talk more in matches.
Oh yeah.
Communicate more. That's a bad thing I do. I don't communicate. Communicate more in matches, and to listen to the crowd. I would say the best advice I was ever given came from Crotch, to be okay and then nothing. Like when the fans aren't saying anything and they're just there. I believe that Seth has told me this too, probably. It's to be okay and then nothing when the fans aren't saying anything, when they're not doing anything. And he was like, they're just trying to, oh no, when you're not doing anything. Look at me interpreting that. Probably what I do it. I've interpreted it wrong.
Yeah.
When you were just kind of tired and you're like laying there and nothing's happening, just be okay with that moment, because the crowd will they'll come to you. Like, they're processing what just happened, and then when it's processed, they'll just start rallying up, because now that they've seen what happened, they want more of it, and to be okay with the nothing. And I think another thing Kobe said was, slow the fuck down.
Nice.
If you think you're going 10 miles an hour, go slower. If you think you're going fast, go slower. Or if you think you're going slow, go slow, because you're most likely not going slow at all.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard someone else say that before. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, they probably all communicate. They're just like, oh yeah, tell them this and this, but yeah. One final question here. Recap or talk about the future shows that you have coming up.
I have a couple of future shows coming up, actually. That's why I went off. I have to go into my calendar because I don't have all this stuff memorized.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good.
The 28th, which is this Saturday, Powerhouse. This Sunday, we talked about those. I had SCW on the 4th of February. I have XCW again. Oh no, that's 4th of February. Okay, XCW on the 4th of February. I'm gonna be at Zala in April. I'm gonna be at Grandel on the 18th of March, back in Missouri.
Honestly.
We have a couple of SCW shows in February and March. February and April. SCW, April, I have Zala, and May I have Zala. So it's going to be a pretty busy couple of months. That's the best part of it, being able to travel everywhere and not sitting in one place. So if you sit in one place, you get complacent and it gets boring. And, you know, just kind of sucks a little out of everything. So it's good to keep moving around and getting your name out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm just, quick shout out to Grandel Wrestling. I know I haven't said much about it, but I know they've been keeping up with this and been keeping up with their stuff and sent me messages back and forth just about wrestling. I'm like, it's cool that, yeah.
He's really good, and he tries his best to showcase new talent that he genuinely has faith in. And I'm lucky enough that I got to meet him through Kaya. Oh, I know her as Amanda. I met him through her. She introduced him to me, and I got to go to Grandel and do a promo for Raheem De La Suede, who's going to be at I'm Spirit tomorrow. So I'm going to see that. I'm not going to film show, but I'm going to go watch it and help out, because it's kind of like torn between two, because I love Raheem, but he's going against Sabotage and going to Brave, and they're my BXB brothers, so you have to be loyal to BXB. So so it's a bit hard there. But yeah, I was definitely lucky enough to get in contact with Jerry, because he's definitely been out for and introducing me to new people, and also putting me on his shows and being able to have me make connections with him, and he's also been a lot of help in getting me my Missouri's, or getting me to get my Missouri's license, which is a very stressful process.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
shout out to Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've talked to one wrestler and they're like, oh yeah, I got to get my license and then I can do this. I'm like, oh, you probably got to do that. And think about that, but I mean, safety and liability and all that stuff. So, and just being in the area.
Yes. I have to get my license and I can go to Missouri. But I also, while I'm getting my license, can also go to other places. And by the time I get my Missouri's license, people in Missouri may have already heard of me or know of me from someone else. So
Nice.
I try to not get stuck in, I don't have this, so I can't do this. So I don't have this right now, so I'll just do this till I get this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's a lot more efficient.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you. This awesome to talk to you, and yeah, I mean, we thought you were a great choice for Rookie of the Year, and just kind of randomly did awards and used a wheel picker for wrestler male and female of the award, and did that all on a show. It was like, yeah, it was actually really fun just seeing a wheel picker go. I'm like, oh, it's just nice. Yeah, but yeah, thanks again, and yeah, hope you win some championships this weekend, and future goals, or yeah, hope future wrestling goes good as well. So
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And fans, thanks for joining, and